Okay, thanks, Robert. Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us at this week's Call Scotland webinar. We are very pleased to have Stacey Atiyeh from Solution Marketing at News2You, who is going to be talking about SymbolStix, a symbol communication tool today, and also our own Gillian McNeill, who's going to be joining in with the session too. Stacey is the Director of Solution Marketing and has been working in this area for over 18 years, so lots of experience and lots of resources to tell us about today. So just a couple of things to remind you of before we start. If you could please turn your microphones off and your cameras off while the session is happening, and if you have any questions, would you please just type them into the chat and we can have a look as we go along, but we will wait to ask the questions to Stacey and Gillian until the end of the session, just after 4:20. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Stacey, and we're all really excited to hear and see what she's got to show us today. Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate being here today to present SymbolStix Prime. Again, my name is Stacey Atiyeh, and I am the Director of Solution Marketing here at N2Y. For those of you that have not heard of N2Y, we are an education technology company. We are based out of the United States, and we offer many different solutions to meet the needs of special education students. So for more than 20 years, it has been our mission to work side by side with special educators, transforming not only, what's happening in the classroom, but also the lives of teachers and administrators, our service providers, paraprofessionals, families, and caregivers, and of course, all of the students that we proudly serve. And I am super excited to show you SymbolStix Prime today. SymbolStix Prime is the industry-leading communication solution. It helps to maximize online and in-person instruction, whether that's in a clinical setting or classroom. It's helping to improve communication and comprehension, and also to ensure that everyone has access to learning, language, and self-expression. So over the past 18 years in my career as an educator, I've served in many roles in the field where communication and self-expression were the key to success for my students. In fact, I always bring a story to the table. I had a middle school student, her name was Ashley, and she really struggled with her ability to communicate and participate with her peers in our self-contained classroom. And I knew that she needed to create, or that I needed to create opportunities for her to have that level of engagement, to be able to express herself, because I could see that she had frustration, and she was experiencing that in our daily lessons. And she had this overwhelming desire to tell me about how she was feeling, and she wanted to communicate and participate in class discussions. That was really obvious. And I wanted her to feel included and have that ability to participate with their peers as much, and also in our one-on-one sessions. And so I came up with the idea to use SymbolStix Prime to create these interactive boards that worked with her AAC device. And it not only helped to engage her, but it also gave her the ability to communicate and participate in class. And it opened up her world to these amazing new possibilities. And I am so grateful for that experience. I was lucky enough to have SymbolStix Prime and also used our other academic solution, Unique Learning System, which featured SymbolStix Prime characters throughout the instruction. So there was already that connection for Ashley between the interactive boards that I created and what I was teaching in class academically. And I still keep in touch with Ashley's mom, and I'm happy to report that she is flourishing in high school. She's actually due to graduate in just a few days. So for those of you that are not familiar with SymbolStix Prime, it is a communication solution. It gives the world's most comprehensive library of 90,000 plus dynamic, engaging, and personally relevant education symbols. Though it's so much more than just a collection of symbols. With SymbolStix Prime, you can actually create countless activities. You're optimizing clear, consistent communication to support not only academics, but behavior and social needs for all students. It also helps to strengthen vocabulary and literacy skills, helping to clarify academic concepts. And it truly helps to create this meaningful access to learning and access to language and self-expression by helping our learners to connect and interact with the world around them. One of the other great aspects of SymbolStix Prime is that you can develop, you can save, and you can search through the library, as well as reusing different boards and activities that you've created. There are templates in there. You can easily pair symbols and words in any situation, whether it's English, Spanish. We also have 9 other languages, and that also includes British English as well. So SymbolStix Prime is exactly what every learner who struggles with some level of communication needs and deserves in order to feel included and supported and engaged. And one of the many great aspects of SymbolStix Prime is that it does save you a lot of time and energy, especially if you do subscribe to some of our other solutions. And what you can see here is that, did somebody have a question? Or somebody might have come off mute. So one of the great aspects of SymbolStix Prime is that, it does save you this great amount of time. And what you're looking at here is the current issue of News to You, which is our weekly newspaper, and then symbols that are associated with our monthly thematic unit and unique learning system. And since every language is constantly growing and evolving, we're always adding new symbols, which you can see on this as well. So from here, you can actually create your own collections based on a group of symbols, or you can easily search and create your own collections.
Sorry to interrupt, Stacey. I think
yes.
If you could just share your screen now with us. Yeah.
Oh, is it not sharing?
Not just as yet. Yeah, but if you could do that now, that would be great. Thanks.
I apologize about that. Give
That's
me
okay.
1 second. I thought I was sharing my screen. I'm going through the whole slide deck.
Yeah.
All right. Is it showing now?
Yeah, we've got your desktop at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I apologize about that.
That's okay.
All right. How about now? Is that working?
Yeah, we've got the SymbolStix, the search window now.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Good.
I apologize about that. So what you're looking at, and I apologize that you guys were not seeing the other slides. We'll make sure to get that to you as well. So as far as, finding symbols within the program, you can actually search through and browse through here. You can browse by different actions. You can also browse by language. And it's really easy to add, individual symbols, or you can add them to an interactive board. It's super easy to find. You can go through this entire enormous collection of categories. And you can also, search by keyword as well. And then you can adjust for the different languages. So what I've done here is, this is just a screenshot, obviously. These are where I searched for the word teacher, and there are a plethora of different symbols that you can use here. We also include some ASL symbols as well, depending on where you are in the world. If you're calling a teacher a professor or something other than that, you can also search for that as well. And over here, let me pull my cursor over here. You can actually set a skin tone for a particular symbol as well. So we are very big into diversity. We know that classrooms and clinical settings also have multicultural classrooms as well. And we do provide the ability for you to change the character's skin tone to allow for you to meet the needs, and so that all of our students are represented. So you can change the tone of the symbol, or you can do it individually, or you can do it as a collection. And from here, you can also download that symbol and save it to your symbol library to use again. All right, so let's go to the next one. So all of the symbols that you add to your personal collection are stored in a library. And this allows you to take pieces and parts to help build your library of, you could do different symbol collections. And you can do this and create your own customized boards where you can include as many or as little of these symbols as possible. When I was a teacher and was using this, I would actually create boards for different activities that we were doing, and then I would take those boards and I would actually partner with our speech and language pathologist and pass that information along as well. So many people use SymbolStix Prime for many different reasons. One of the many reasons why our teachers love it is because it does allow you to create these beautiful interactive communication boards. And by interactive, our boards allow you to reach many different types of students. There's text-to-speech. You have the ability for highlighting. There is the text-to-speech option where you can adjust the reading speed. You can turn the symbols on and off within a board. If you're working with an older student that doesn't necessarily need the symbol support but wants the card, you have that option as well. And one of the newest components that we've just added this past weekend is a marker tool, which is hugely popular, especially if you're playing bingo in class. The students can actually interact right on the board with the marker tool. So there's really something for everyone here. And there's no time-consuming downloads or worries about compatibility. You can literally teach and students can learn anywhere that there is an internet connection and a device to connect. So there are templates for creating customized boards. You can do that by activity. You can do it by size. You can do it by layout. You can also do it by device. And by depending on the type of device your student might be using, there are many different options in that particular category. We also partner with several other companies to provide symbols for them as well. So as far as, pre-populating boards, we do have an option for templates. There are about 30 to 40 different templates that are in there, but you do have the ability to create yours on your own. A lot of times our teachers will create games for bingo or something along those lines, depending, maybe it's an activity for a language impaired student, but you do have the ability to create these using a different options for templates. And you can also bring in those symbol collections that you've created as well. So as an example, I pulled together, in a lesson, you want to teach about what the difference is between a fruit and vegetable. I created a 2-place board here. I just typed in the word fruit and I typed in the word vegetable. Those are, you can click on those and those will speak out loud. And I pulled, for this particular one, I didn't have anything in my symbol collection. So I went ahead and just searched the entire 90,000 symbols and was able to come up with these 2 options. So wanted to give you guys a quick example of what that looked like. But in the event that you just don't have the time to put together a board for like a whole group activity or small group or one-on-one, which I know never happens, we do have the ability to use another component, which my students absolutely loved, because what students don't like to come up to the board to try something. This is actually called symbolized text. You basically get a whiteboard, and what you do is you type in the words that you want to say and it will automatically populate the symbol from our library. So my students used to love to come up to the board to type something out, and then the entire class would get super excited because the symbols would automatically attach. They just absolutely love this. This is great for getting my kids engaged and motivated in whatever we were learning. So you also have the option to customize a board. Again, this is the symbolized text option here. And I put in there the I love broccoli and I love bananas. And you can also make adjustments to the board itself. You have the option to align it. You can move it up and down. You can move it left and right. You can add in the speaking component in here as well if your student needs to have text-to-speech, and you can make it interactive in that way. Saving your boards is also quick and easy, just like everything else in SymbolStix Prime. And again, you can download it, whatever works for your particular need. So if you are anything like me, you love keeping things neat and organized. And as you can see here, a visual representation of all of the boards you've created in SymbolStix Prime. There's a lot of options here too. We have the ability to tag and mark boards as favorites so you can have easy filtering. And when you have students that have similar needs, you can simply copy a board and save it as a new file and customize the board from there. You could even go further by organizing and creating folders of boards as well. I'm huge into color coding, so there are many different options for color coding your folders, and they are saved under the My Folders. So I've already created a couple of them here for you to see. And the possibilities are really endless, and having everything all in one place is also really key to keep organized. So these folders and boards can be assigned to students. Students do have the option for student view. And this is a great way to connect students with other learning opportunities that are happening both in and outside the classroom or in and out of the clinical setting, whether it's a particular subject, a project, a virtual field trip. The possibilities are really endless, and it's all in one place. So as you can see, you can also send these boards and as well, oops, went too fast. You can also send these boards and communicate them with other service providers, which is a really key way to help build that communication between service provider and instructor. So if you wanted to, say, communicate with your speech and language pathologist, or you are the speech and language pathologist and want to communicate with the child's teacher or the parent, you're working on vocabulary skills, you can send the board to the student and vice versa, or you can send it to that teacher. So it's a great option so that you can build that, to bridge that gap between settings. So you can actually send up to 50 boards to 10 different people all at the same time. And this is going to save so much time and energy. It's the best thing instead of reinventing the wheel. So as we close, with SymbolStix Prime, you can easily create materials that are engaging, they're differentiated, and I feel like they're really confidence building for our students. You'll not only ensure that your students are engaged and they're participating in class clinical settings with their parents, you're also supporting that meaningful progress and development toward independence both in and out of the classroom. And thousands of unique learners and educators are using SymbolStix Prime. They're benefiting greatly from this powerful resource. It is truly a universal language that empowers communication for all students. So, Gillian, I would love to answer any questions you might have. And for those of you in the audience, I highly encourage you, if you're interested, to schedule a demo with one of our sales team members to see what SymbolStix Prime looks like in action.
Yeah, can I just, there's a question that's come up here, Stacey, just before passing over to Gillian. It's
Sure.
just about, there's a teacher or an educator who's saying that she has her own SymbolStix account, but she's looking to have it through the school, and she's finding she'd like some advice on how it can be bought and sort of IT structures, etc. So I suppose the question is really, is there a UK rep of any kind that people, because in Scotland, can contact and find out about these kind of purchase options and IT structures and that kind of thing?
Sure. The easiest recommendation I can say is just to email me directly, and I can get you in contact with one of our sales representatives that can help you, for sure.
Okay, does that answer your question, Mrs. Higgins? Okay, I think that'll be okay. Okay, we'll pass over to... Oh, sorry, hi.
Myself and my colleague, Nicola, so we both have SymbolStix, and we use it regularly, and we're very much like, we need it as a school because we know how great it is. And Nicola did contact, was it the sales team, but we didn't really get anywhere with it. I feel like it's kind of like we've got to jump through hoops and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's something that we've kind of got the money there to do it, but our PCOS system isn't allowing it, and I'm trying to find a way for our school to get it.
Email me directly, and I will make sure that you get in contact with the right person, for sure.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I don't know what was wrong with my sound. I do apologise.
That's okay. No problem.
Thanks. Okay, right, over to Gillian.
Yeah, okay, thanks very much. Yeah, I think the advice is to email Stacey, and Stacey, can you share your email in the chat, or
yes,
would you feel comfortable with
that? I will do that.
Yeah,
of course.
Right.
I'm going to do that right now.
That's great. Well, I'm just going to share my screen and just, I'd like to, after that fantastic overview of SymbolStix Prime, so much to cover in 20 minutes, what I'd like to do is just a couple of insights as an AEC practitioner of quite a few years, working with children and adults, thinking about which symbol set to choose, and also which app to choose. Apps with different symbol sets. I'd like to just give one or two insights, and then finally signpost to some of Call Scotland's own resources that are free to download, that we've produced using SymbolStix through our agreement that we've had over quite a number of years to do that. So just to kick off then, and I suppose to put SymbolStix in the context of other symbol software that I know are being used certainly in Scotland and throughout the rest of the UK, and I would say SymbolStix is very much a kind of up and coming resource that more and more people are finding out about. I would say that looking back over history, the symbol software that's been used more widely in Scotland is the picture communication symbols from Boardmaker. And I think it'd be fair to say that in the rest of the UK, the widget symbols are used more commonly. But one resource that might be useful for those on the webinar today to get sort of access to information about the different symbol sets is on our Symbols for All website. So I wanted just to signpost the main call website and then the jump to Symbols for All. There's also at the moment a big button in the middle of our website which takes you to Symbols for All. And this is one of our mini websites with lots of resources for those that are using symbols primarily in schools. And in this section, equipment and software, there's quite a lot about using symbols on simple communication devices. But just scrolling down, there's a table that we have produced, and that's it just there. I hope it's big enough for you to get a sense of it anyway. And so what we've done is we've listed the main contenders really in terms of symbol software, and you'll see that SymbolStix Prime is listed there. So just a bit of a description, links to all the websites, and a bit of a description of the type of symbol, whether they can be used for printed symbols or for interactive activities. And I think the costs are there. However, I would draw caution here in that it's quite difficult to compare costs, because as we know, there are different types of subscription subscriptions. As has already been mentioned, there's individual as well as professional, and I think the prices here might be slightly different, but you'll see that, that it's maybe a kind of easy way to kind of have a look at sort of, you know, through the different sort of symbol sets. So that's, I say, one resource that might be useful for you. Something else that I wanted to signpost to is another resource that we have, and it's our app wheel. So this is a resource that is we've created to provide guidance on communication or AEC apps. And what we wanted to do, let me just sort of quickly put that into another view, the full screen view. What we wanted to do was we've categorized the apps, and I'll just zone in here, to text-based apps, symbol-based apps, and other sort of basic apps, and some other sort of skill-building apps. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll into this section here, which is the symbol-based apps that I think are in most common use, these sort of full communication systems with commonly used starter vocabularies. And what we've done with these apps is we've tried to make it easy at a glance to see which symbol sets are available in each of them. And I say these are the main contenders. So you'll see that under Proloquo2Go, we've got SymbolStix, a Clicker Communicator, which is a UK-based app, has got a choice of the three. So things to sort of think about when you're selecting an app, and a situation I had with one of my own learners was the school were very keen to use SymbolStix as a resource for their printed resources. They thought it was a good resource. So we decided to match or marry the AEC software that the learner was using to that, and decided to go down the route of using SymbolStix. So we opted for the grid software because it offers SymbolStix. However, one thing just to sort of bear in mind is that not all these apps do offer the UK sort of spellings and UK vocabularies. So bear in mind, although we, I say, list SymbolStix here, they're not all, some of them do require a bit of editing. You're good to go with Proloquo2Go. That's certainly got all the UK spellings, as has Clicker Communicator. But Grid for iPad and the Grid software does require these words such as your colour, the colour, and favourite, the OR that's often in the US spelling is OR, whereas the UK it's usually the OUR. So you do need to do a bit of editing, certainly for the Grid, for GoTalk and for Touch Chat, one of our really popular apps. You do need to sort of think about the editing. So finally, just want to signpost you to, as I mentioned, our resources, and they are also our other free resources that you can use. They're also on the Symbols for All website, but this time if you jump to BookBug, you'll see that we've developed over quite a number of years resources for early readers, for those at an early stage in their communication, to participate in shared reading. And in order to do that, we've produced these symbol resources that can be used alongside simple communication devices, or resources that can be printed out and just used as symbol boards. We've also got a resource that you can use on an iPad in an app called Sounding Board. So I see on the BookBug landing page, you'll see a bit of a description of the books for the BookBug Primary 1 Family Bag, which is for kind of your starter or pupils in starting school, and there's also some resources there for pupils that are at the nursery stage. So the Primary 1 Family Bag, this year's resources are based on 3 books. There's lots and lots of other books from previous years though, and you scroll down Arlo. I'm just going to highlight this book about a lion, and one of our boards, which is based on the GoTalk 9. And if we just open that up, you'll see that you can use this just as a printed board, or you could use it, just cut the symbols up. And we have just not quite opened in the right view. Let me just swap that round. There we go. So you can use this as, say, cut up the symbols for eye pointing, say, use the board as it is, print it off and use it on a GoTalk, and it provides key vocabulary, some of the illustrations from the book, which we have the permission to use, but also you see SymbolStix there of keywords, core words for learners to use to join in with the story. So as well as the GoTalk overlay, we have some symbols, single symbols for using on the Big Mac and Little Step, which are sort of repetitive type lines that you might use in a story. We have got the sounding board app overlay, and I'll just flip to that, and here is the example of how the board looks in sounding board. And finally, a resource that we have produced for using with Clicker. It's a writing resource, so having read the story, a resource for learners to write about it. And this is one of our sentence building sets where the learner can view the sentence, or you can have that hidden and they build their own sentences themselves. So sentence set and also a connect set for where there's a bit of scaffolding for writing there. So all free to download wherever you are. And that is me done. And is there time for one or two other questions perhaps from others?
If there are any other questions, get them in quickly. The one thing I was going to ask, Stacey, is I'm presuming that there are templates as well within SymbolStix Prime. That's often a very common thing that people are doing, making overlays for various devices.
Yes, and actually this year the SymbolStix team has been continuously adding in. I believe by the end of the year there will be over 100 different templates that are in there. I did want to also mention too, because I saw on the website it didn't have it, but we do have a trial where you can try it for 30 days. You can also try some of our other solutions as well for free, and I linked that in the chat as well.
Great.
That's great. That was one of my questions too. Yeah. That's good. So information about that on the website, Stacey, about starting your trial. Good.
Absolutely.
Yep, and the link's in the chat. So if anyone wants to copy and paste that before we finish up, then please do.
Something I noticed, Stacey, when I was looking at SymbolStix, you can choose your locale to is it British English or United Kingdom? I think it might be. Is it
UK? Yep.
Yeah, UK. And that means that it will, it will give you the UK spellings, and it's quite clever actually, because you know it there's in your search it does put in quite a lot of things that are linked to that particular word as well. And I noticed there's quite a lot of vocabulary, Scottish vocabulary in there. And I guess that if there's something missing, it's we can sort of send details and potentially have that added.
Absolutely. We do have a submit a request on there on the website as well. So our teams are, as an organization, we are really big about customer feedback. So if there's something that's not there that you would love to see, let us know, and we'll make it happen.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, Stacey and Gillian. That's been... Just to let you know that our next webinar will be on the 25th of May, and it's about technology and dyslexia, free accessibility features. And just to remind everybody that we have our assistive technology online conference, ASL and Technology, coming up on the 16th of June. So please check out the website and have a look at the programme and get yourself signed up for that. But other than that, I think all that's left to say is thank you very much, Stacey. Thanks for joining us from America, and thanks, Gillian. You'll all be sent the link to the recording of this webinar, so you'll be able to watch it and catch up with anything you missed at a later date. But thanks for joining us today.